Oh my God, what kind of barbaric, brutal society is this? Openly carrying assault rifles. This is happening in public transportation? This has to be some socialist European backwards country. Of course, some place in which, law does not exist and it's all brutal savagery. Well, not really. Guys, as always, welcome to Modern Survivalist channel. If you want to learn more about survival and preparedness, about your ability to defend yourself from not fear-mongering or anything crazy, just life as it is. That's what I've been doing for a long time. You have a lot of information in the channel, and I strongly suggest you get my books, Street Survival Skills, as well as Surviving the Economic Collapse. And you may be interested in bugging out and relocating as well, giving everything going on. A ton of information accumulated over the years in those 3 books, which you have in Amazon, following the links down there in the description. No, this is not some brutal third world hellhole. No, and they are all smiling. Why are they smiling while riding their bikes? What is this? Like some green agenda? Some carbon emission bullshit? Why are you not driving a truck like any free American would? Why are you taking public transportation in Switzerland? Well, yeah, it is in Europe. So this is in Europe. They're openly carrying their guns, and this is probably something issued to this young girl. The crazy thing here is that this girl actually has a father. Honestly, I mean, now that I'm not joking anymore, I'm not surprised by the rifles. By the way, this is a SIG 550. This is an older SIG that was previously issued in Switzerland for men, and it's still the case that you have in Switzerland. Switzerland, by the way, is the best country in the world. If you it's not the United States. It's Switzerland. The Swiss are the ones that have managed to achieve the highest evolution of society, and the proof is right there. It is a daughter proudly looking at her dad, and they're both smiling in public transportation with their assault rifles. Why? Because they're fucking Swiss, guys. That's why. That's why they're taking the bus to the range without even fucking bothering to have some kind of case for these. No, we're just going over there. We're just gonna shoot off you. We're doing our mandatory service. That's gonna be for men, because another thing that they have no confusion about in Switzerland is about being a man or there's no gender study point here. Why? Because there's a law that says that you're either a man or you're a woman, right? In Switzerland, there's no third option. You're a man or a woman. Oh, but I want to be... not in Switzerland. No, you don't. In Switzerland, you're a man and a woman, and because you're different, you have different rights and different obligations. And talking about something that apparently in the last 50 years is more of a taboo word, it's your fucking obligations. Best country in the world, you have obligations. No, but I want freedom. Wow, freedom. No, it's a false sense of freedom that you have when there's no obligations to go along with it, because someone has to make sure that those freedoms exist. And those freedoms exist because you have both. You have rights and obligations, right? And that's the way it should be. Because if not, you cannot ensure the other. And with your obligations, if you're a man, it's military service. In Switzerland, if you're a man and you're over 18 years old, you're going to do proudly, happily, full of pride and joy of your Swiss nationality, you're going to do your military service, which every Swiss man will proudly perform. I'm sure there's a bunch of dirty commies somewhere complaining about it in Switzerland as well, because they're everywhere, but still very much part of their society is this. They're going to do their duties, right, their obligations proudly, happily. And yes, they're going to take the damn bus while doing it, because they have public transportation. They have public services that are insured because of their common agreements of, we will do this shit the right way. We will do the things that are obligations, the ones that you don't have a way of sneaking away. And because of that, you enjoy this wonderful society they have created. You bike ride, but again, how weird is this? Our daughter and her father both proudly smiling. No one is freaking out or calling the police or anything, guys. That's just the way it is. These two girls probably gonna do some, again, because it's different, women have the option. And many of them do. I think it's like 10% of women actually do military service. You can also do civilian service if you have like something specifically with the military. But the civilian service, I believe it's like quite a bit longer than the military service, but some kind of service is mandatory. You will not sneak away from this obligation. And this is because Switzerland has no army. Switzerland has no military, right? Switzerland is not a country that has an army. Switzerland is an army in itself. And that is a very distinctive difference. We don't have an army. We are an army. This is the kind of word that every military general, every captain, every guy in service in any military around the world, his asshole does like, oh, fuck. Oh, how many servicemen do they? No, they don't have. They're all servicemen. They all have a SIG 550 and know how to fucking use it. You don't have to ask about how many. It is all of them. All of them have one. All of them know how to shoot. And you're fucked if you're invading this country. Which is the point. The point of the mandatory military service was to ensure that Switzerland is safe. That Switzerland will not be invaded by any idiot out there that still didn't know that Switzerland is not an army. No, it's not a country that has an army. Switzerland is an army in itself. There you go. That's it. That's why they smile while taking a fucking bus. And they're not driving a truck because this guy probably has a BMW, an Audi, or some kind of, fucking expensive European car of some kind or another, right? And he's just taking the bus because it happens to be more convenient, because he doesn't even want to drive that way. He wants to enjoy the conversation with his daughter as they go to the range and do a few, shoot a few targets and whatnot. Or maybe it's the daughter that needs to do her, her training and because they have to do that. I believe it's the case that even for women, you have to do like a certain amount of training, right? That is compulsory, it's mandatory if you are in the military. And I guess that for guys, it's going to be something like every year, your annual, shooting. And you have to pass that, so as to complete your training. But they do that proudly, happily, and I fucking love that. I think it's so amazing. I think it's so great. Yeah. I wish we could all be a little bit more like Switzerland in so many ways. See you later, guys. Take care.